Welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Now, how to overcome trust issues in a relationship? Guys, how can you overcome trust issues in your relationship? When you when you wonder where your partner was when they went shopping or on an outing with their friends, you call several times, but there is no answer. Sometimes you see yourself sneaking to spy on them. When they are sleeping, you go through their phones looking for evidence. And then you know that it's not the kind of lifestyle you want to live. It's not the kind of relationship that you need for yourself. Why are you behaving this way? And how can you overcome these trust issues and have a healthy relationship? Welcome. Good evening. This is Wano. This is a live broadcast that we do every Friday. It's a phone-in session where you call on the number that is on the screen. Okay, plus 447449823876. If it's the first time you're coming across one and it's the first time you're joining us on this program, all right, this number is a WhatsApp number. You call to contribute and then voice your opinion, your views. Okay, there's no obligation for you to give your name. Like I said, now the line is open. The line is free. Call one on now on plus 447449823876. Call now. The line is free. The line is open. The line is free, so you can call and voice your opinion. Okay, how to overcome trust issues in relationship? I'm asking, how can you overcome trust issues in relationship when you start seeing yourself behaving this way? When you start, most times you feel like going to your partner's phone, just like wondering where they are. All the time you are like worried. All the time you're having anxiety and everything, depression because of maybe I don't know. You're always worried about their whereabouts and all that. Because if when you look at it, you see that trust is a fundamental aspect of any relationship. We're talking about any healthy relationship. And overcoming trust issues can be a challenging issue, a challenging issue, but it's essential in building a strong and lasting bond, strong and lasting relationship. Okay, what are we talking about here? Okay, tonight on this podcast, live podcast, we'll explore practical steps, strategies for overcoming trust issues in your relationship. It's not going to be easy, but it's something that we're going to we're going to look into. All right. So, okay. Can you overcome trust issues in your relationship? First of all, you're going to ask yourself, why are you behaving this way? What is the problem? What happened? What brought about these trust issues? Because once you understand the cause of or the root of the problem, once you identify the root cause of your lack of trust, once you know where it started, what happened, because this could stem from your past experiences, talking about your personal insecurity, or maybe communicational breakdown within a relationship. Okay, especially when the cause of the trust issue is infidelity. You are the one at the receiving end. Okay, it's difficult to handle sometimes when you are the one they cheated on, or maybe there's a breakdown in that relationship, within the relationship, that brought about these trust problems, trust issues. and all that. Maybe personal insecurity, something that happened in your past relationship, or something that happens when you were a child, and all that, that you carried along till you grow, that you brought even bring that into your relationship. Understand? So once you identify the root cause, once you identify why you are behaving the way you are behaving, once you identify that, that is the first step. That is the first step. We're talking about how can you overcome trust issues in your relationship. Okay? Because you see yourself all the time, you're worried. You wonder where your partner was when they when shopping or on an item with their friends or something like that. They went out several times. You call the phone, maybe you text them, they didn't text back, or sometimes maybe you see yourself sneaking in. You just want to like spy them, or you want to look into their phones and all that to find out evidence or something. Maybe you like getting too paranoid and all that because something happened in your past relationship, something happened that brought about this insecurity, or something happened that brought about this I don't know, you that you cannot stay with that, seeing this person that you're in a relationship whenever they're out, you're worried. Understand? Identify the root cause. Identify the root cause of the problem. Then once you identify the root cause of the problem, then that's the first thing, you know. Then you take time to reflect on your beliefs. Take time now to reflect on the fears. You take time to reflect on those past experiences that may contribute to these your trust issues. Because once you identify it, now you take time now to reflect. Go through why, how did they occur, what happened, finding out why the betrayal occurred, finding out why the infidelity occurred, finding out why you always have anxiety, finding out why maybe you always jealous, you have that jealousy inside of you. And once you understand yourself better, it will help you to do what address this issue more effectively. Once you find out the cause of the problem, the trust issue, then you reflect on it, walk through it. Then you know where to start, you know what to what to do. You understand? Then that is the most important thing. That's what you have to first of all work on. Talking about how can you overcome trust issues in relationship? Because for you now, when you ask yourself that question, you say to yourself, how can you overcome trust issues? Because you notice that maybe you're having trust issues, okay? You notice that you're having trust issues. So because you're having trust issues, now what you do, you need to overcome it because you want to work on yourself. Want to work on that relationship. You looking at that relationship, you say to yourself, no, this is not what I signed in for. This is not what the kind of lifestyle I want to live. Okay? This is not the kind of lifestyle you want to live because it's not healthy anyway. When someone that you're in a relationship with, when they're going out, when they're out and about, you're worried. If they're not back, you're worried. It's not healthy for your health. It's not healthy for your emotions. It's not healthy for you. It's not even healthy, that relationship. Okay, once there's trust issues in that relationship. Okay, but the first thing is that at least you've identified, that you have issues, and then you want to work on it. Okay, because if you don't know that you have issues, that's what's going to be a major problem. Because now, but you know that you have issues, and you want to work on it. Understand? Like I said, the line is open. You can call me now. I would like to hear your opinion on what we're discussing. Okay, how can you overcome trust issues? How can you overcome trust issues in your relationship? All right, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're discussing this evening. Okay, so we can Yeah, call now. Or put on the comment on the comment section. I'll read them out. Okay. Now that you've already like identified the root cause of the problem, you understand trust issues. You understand why you're having all those problems. You're having that trust issue. Okay. The next thing you have to do is to find ways now to rebuild that trust. Rebuild that trust because the person that you're in relationship with, this person that maybe they are a little bit worried because when you like when someone is always out, when they're going out, maybe go shopping or they went work or they went out with the friends and all that, and they don't worry, and they keep on calling, and when they didn't pick up the call, or maybe their battery went down or something happened, and then when they come back, then because of the trust issues in their relationship, you see that there'll be a lot of argument, and they might tell you what they went to, what happened, and everything. And because of that, then because you have that trust issues, you will not believe them. You will not want to accept what they're telling you and all that. There will always be conflict. There will always be issues. Okay. And then you now want to rebuild the trust because you already identified the root cause of the problem. You know that you have an issue and then you want to work on it. Then you ask yourself, how can you rebuild the trust? In what way can you rebuild this trust? Well, what way can you make it easier for you to give yourselves the opportunity to rebuild the trust, to trust each other? First of all, the first thing here, normally on this platform, we talked about open communication. We always talk about communication because when you're in a relationship with someone, the fundamental aspect of that relationship, when talking about the fundamental things that you guys have to work on is communication because you need to communicate. And that's what you have to do. You must have that open communication, foster open communication, honest communication with your partner, discuss your concerns, let them understand this is what is happening. This is the issues I've been having. Okay? Express your fears and expectation openly to build transparency and understanding. Let them understand that this is what is happening. This is the fears I always have when you're out. This is what is going on here. Understand? So you need to let them understand what happened in your last relationship or more what happened maybe in your family or when you were what happened maybe your childhood trauma that you had, maybe something happened because of maybe you have parents, maybe they separated because of trust issues, or there's something that happened that has been affecting you that brought about that trust issues. Let them understand what happened, the reason why you are behaving that way. Let them get, let them understand. Because you see that in most cases, when you open up, when you talk to this person in a relationship, when you talk to your partner, when you talk to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband or wife, you talk to them openly and be honest with them and let them on this is what is happening to me. Your partner will give you assurances of their what behavior that you have nothing to worry about. They will give you that assurance. They will tell you, listen, you don't have nothing to worry about. Okay. I'm uh, I'm sorry that this is happening to you. Maybe what happened to you in your past relationship and all that. And that's the reason why you're behaving this way. But in this relationship, don't worry about it. Something like this will not happen. They will give you assurances because you are open, you communicated with them, you let them understand your behavior, you let them understand what is worrying, all your fears and everything. You let them understand that this is what is happening. Like I said to you, in most cases, they will give you that assurances. Say to you, don't worry about it. Nothing of such will happen because you discussed it. Okay. And once you finish discussing about it and all that, it's also it's good practice for you to set boundaries. Set boundaries, establish clear boundaries within the relationship to create a sense of security and predictability. Let them understand, respect each other boundaries to build mutual trust. Once you do that, let them understand this is what I cannot tolerate. This is what I will not accept relationship. I will not like you to do behave this way. I will not accept this. I will not relate this and all that. Because you're already having that open communication. You're setting boundaries. You're letting them know upfront what you will not accept, what you will not tolerate. You understand what I mean? Because you're trying to make that relationship easier for both of you, trying to build a healthy relationship. And you starting doing that by open communication, by communicating to each other, that talking to each other with mutual respect and all that. Also, through setting boundaries so that everyone will know what they can and cannot do in that relationship. Through mutual respect, by giving each other respect. Do you understand? Those are the things that you need to do. Those are the things you need to do in a relationship. Understand? Okay. Those are the things you have to do it. And once you set boundaries, once after setting boundaries, once everyone knows their boundaries, everyone knows what is not acceptable in that relationship. Because these are is two grown-up adults in a relationship. Okay? So everyone knows their boundaries, everyone knows what is not acceptable. The next thing is to be consistent because you have to consistent actions and behavior over time can help rebuild that trust. Consistent actions over time. You just like be consistent, you know, because once you start the how would I say once you start demonstrating reliability and commitment to show that you are trustworthy, show example. You need to show what example of your own behavior. You have to do that. It's not just about setting boundaries, talking about it. You that self that is worried, you that is having these trust issues, you that is like, based on what happened to you, past experiences and all that. You come into this relationship and something like that is happening. You need to do what? Show example of your own behavior. You do that because through that you demonstrate reliability and commitment to show that you are trustworthy. That thing that you will not relate in that relationship, you shouldn't do it to your partner. That is it. Simple as that. That thing that you cannot relate, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it at all. Like I said, the line is open. The line is open. Put a comment and then you can call. Okay. The number is on the screen. The number is on screen. So +44 744 982 3876. That is the number to call. Or you can send a comment on the comment section. Then I'll read them out. Okay. How can you overcome trust issues in your relationship? How can you overcome trust issues in relationship? Because now we've talked about identifying the cause, why you're having the issue. We also talked about how can you rebuild trust in that relationship and all that. We talked about open communication, talking about it, the reason why you how the maybe you're having that issue of trust issue. You talked about setting boundaries. You want to set boundaries. Everybody knows what their boundaries, what you can tolerate and not, or that. Then at the end of the day, you just consistent. You have that consistent actions and behavior. You understand that thing that you would not like your partner to do to you. You shouldn't do it to your partner. You understand? You set example of your own behavior. Okay. Then how can you develop self trust? How can you trust yourself? How can you trust? Because now you identify what the cause of the problem. You you reflect on what happened. Probably you had issues in your past relationship, or maybe problem in the family when you were a child, and all that. And that is the reason why you're having this trust issue, and you know that is affecting your relationship. Okay. Now, okay, then you talked about it with your partner. You said, okay, this is what's happening to me, and all that. Both of you come to understanding that you need to work on your relationship. You need to work on the trust to build that trust in your relationship, to build the trust and all that. You set boundaries, and then your behavior, you work on yourself to your behavior. Okay, what about you individually or you yourself? How can you develop self trust? Because you need to trust yourself. You need to find a way to work on yourself to build this trust. Because at the end of the day, when you after identify all these things and talking about it and all that, if you cannot work on yourself to mentally to build trust within you, it will not work. You will struggle. You will struggle. So how can you develop self trust? That is the question. That is the issue. Okay? Because one of the ways that you can do that, one of the ways you can do that is when you talk about we can call self-awareness. Self-awareness. You you look at yourself, and then you you notice that this is something that is worrying you. This is a problem that you have, and you need to work on it. You don't want it to continue. You want to stop it. That's when you will start working on yourself. Work on your self-awareness and self-confidence. Okay? Because building trust in yourself can make it easier to trust others. Can make it easier to trust your partner. Once you start building trust in yourself, it make it easier for you. When you stop worrying about your partner's whereabouts, who they are on the phone with, what they are doing, you can see that you are saving yourself from anxiety and depression. You are saving yourself from paranoid because now you start working on yourself. You know your self awareness. You know what you can do. You start having that self confidence. Understand? Because you're looking at this person now, you're in a relationship with. You know that there's a reason why they choose you. They choose you to they choose to be with you and all that. Okay, and that gives you that confidence. Working on yourself, those things that maybe self doubt and all that, you work on a daily basis to make sure that you trust yourself. Also, you gives you the opportunity for you to trust them. You just don't mean. And when you start you don't mind all these things you're doing anymore. You don't care about all the stuff because you're working on yourself. You now you want to get to understand yourself better. Once you understand yourself better, once you build that your self-confidence, okay, you see that you'll not be worried about then living or not. Because you believe in yourself, you have confidence in yourself. We're talking about how can you develop self-trust. That is it. Okay? Then you need to work on your personal growth. Focus on personal growth and self-improvement to enhance your self-esteem, self-assurances. That is it. Self-assurances and all that. You need to work on your self-esteem. Seriously. Your personal growth. Because when you once you start working on when you start working on yourself and improve yourself, your partner will get the message that you have nothing to lose. He or she will get the message straight away that you have nothing to lose. Seriously. Why? Because you trust yourself. Because it's I find out that most times what happens is that many people have that yeah, you have that anxiety, you have that do I say paranoid that you're worried. The time you're supposed to focus on yourself, the time you're supposed to like work on yourself, the time you're supposed to, you know, do things that you know that you doing for yourself. You use that time now to start worrying about your partner, where they are, what they are doing, all of that, who are on the phone with, and all that. It consumes energy, and it's not good for your health. But once you start focusing on yourself, work on your personal growth, focus on your personal growth, self improvement. You see that you start having that confidence in yourself, and once you start having confidence, they will get the message. They will get the message because in most cases you realize sometimes when someone find out that you're always looking at them all the time, you're always worried about maybe I'm talking about maybe you can say that you're paranoid or you're insecure maybe in your behavior, or you don't really like trust this person based on what happened before and all that. Sometimes some of them you realize maybe if they want to take advantage of it, they will do that, making you angry, making you upset sometimes. And some of them will get to the extent of maybe saying that you are insecure, you're behaving like a kid, or all those kind of things. That knowing is based on the experiences, last past experiences that you have. Maybe based on what happens when you are a child, maybe your parents have the same trust issues and all that. It leads to separation or it leads to divorce. And because of that, you don't want that to happen to you. Okay, and maybe it happens to your brother or your sister, then you're looking at that is the same thing is occurring now in your relationship, and you're looking at it and you say to yourself, I don't want this to happen. Because there are sometimes you see that some people might not have respect in relationship. They are in a relationship with you, they don't have that respect, and they're doing it because there's no boundaries in that. No, this set boundaries. You didn't talk about it. Maybe you're overlooking what is happening, and they take advantage of that. Understand? And then you're looking at the same pattern. It's happening again, again, again. And then you become paranoid. You become angry and all that. Okay? You talked about it. Let them understand what is happening. When you talked about it, then just dwell on it. Let it just like, become maybe become how will I say, an issue occurring all the time. Work on yourself. Because when you work on yourself, when you have that personal growth, when you have that self assurance, self improvement in yourself, that the person, whoever that you are in relationship with, they will get the message. What I mean, they will get the message. They will know that you have nothing to lose. And you know that once someone does have nothing to lose, he cannot, he cannot win that case. Okay. Yeah, hello, good evening.
Evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I want to. contribute on the topic.
Okay, go on.
You said how to overcome trust
How to overcome
in
trust issues, yeah, in relationship, yes.
yeah. And all this topic you are bringing is a daily activities that is happening these days. For one to overcome trust issue in a relationship, first of all, there are some things you gotta tell yourself. You gotta be disciplined
Mm-hmm.
yourself first. That's self-discipline.
Yeah.
And another thing, in a relationship, if there is no trust, that relationship will not work. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
So what bring problem in a relationship is when you begin to suspect your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Suspicion is another thing. Going through his daily conversation on phone, on all this social media, when you are doing all those things, that you cannot overcome that issue of trust, because when your mind is ringing on those things,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be having a double mind. But when you set your mind off of it, knowing, believe, since you believe yourself, you know what you can do. Assume
Mm-hmm.
that your wife is not like that. And another thing, women these days, whenever you are not with your wife, your mind, you begin to wangling your mind. What is she doing? Is she with this so person? Is it? No, remove your mind on all those things for you to live long. You know,
Yeah.
those way you can avoid it. That time you are with your wife, believe say that she's your wife. Anything you discuss, you trust her. So that if you set that goal within you, whenever she goes outside, you will not have a biased mind. And another thing, you remove hearing side talks, gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Gossip. When you listen to gossip, you cannot overcome it,
Yeah.
because you can see somebody that wants to, maybe that person is not enjoying your relationship. He wants to bring a downfall or want to punish your relationship.
Yeah.
He may bring a false accusation about either you or your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are the type of listening to gossip, you see, you, because you are the partner you are accusing is not there present, you get annoyed. When you go to the house, start ranting, bringing issues that don't supposed to be common. But when you set that goal that your wife don't do that, anywhere you are, if anybody comes with any information, you first of all defend your partner first. Then on your leisure time, you can, by so doing those things, women, they love privacy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
Yeah.
They love it. So when you are not monitoring them, giving them time, giving them attention, you see, anyone that has conscience, you see, man, this man that is honest to me, then you caution yourself if you are the type that goes or do anyhow. But how to overcome them is, man, set a goal. Say this is your limit. You cannot encroach, listen to what you say or imitate other people doing these things. Yes, and I don't know whether I'm
Yeah, I understand that. I understand. I get where you're coming from. You mentioned about when you don't allow other people to come into your relationship, you don't listen to gossip, you don't like,
yeah,
you build trust, you have to like trust your partner, not to go to their phones
yeah,
and all that. Okay, but what about in a situation where you maybe in your past relationship that you had experiences that maybe someone that you've been in a relationship with betray you? What I'm talking about betray, when because you
yeah,
see that in some relationship, due to how you have that your self confidence and all that, you don't care about their behavior and everything. but along the line, the person betrayed that trust, and then you find out that that thing that you were avoiding is something that is happening. And you see that when that person goes in now to a new relationship, you see that it's going to be difficult for that person to trust whoever he or she is in that relationship with. And that's what we're trying
That
to talk about this evening. How can you overcome that
that
trust issue? Yeah.
how you can overcome it is in a relationship. When you are in a relationship, you got to be open. The two parties got to be transparent.
Okay.
You tell your partner the things you like or the things you don't like. Let him to understand. Even if you are introvert or extrovert, you let her or him know that you tell him or her your past experiences. That you don't, because of that trauma, it will be hard for you to trust. Understand?
Yeah.
In that case, you are trying to, because you don't want those things that happen in your past relationship to happen in your present relationship.
Yeah.
You are trying to be. But in a relationship like that, in a long time, you can't continue doing those things. But in a relationship, please, you give that person a trial. That little conviction can, and at that thing, one, try to let go. Don't carry grudges or past experiences in your new relationship, because if you do those things, it will weigh you down. You see in a relationship that there is no trust, there is catastrophe because of one's past experiences. And you assume, assumption is a bad thing in a relationship. Don't assume. Assumption should go out in a relationship. If you can be able to control yourself, see your partner, and your partner can control him or herself. Understand?
Yeah.
So in such case, you try to be transparent. Tell your partner what and what, and you try to, at your leisure time, you tell him, because that person, if you tell that person you don't have friend before, she may feel that you are lying to him or her.
Yeah.
So you tell her, when two of you come together, you tell you have a friend before and see what makes me to cut the relationship or makes me not to continue in the relationship. If you can be able to, I don't like this, I don't need this. Then you open up. In a relationship where you don't open up, you see, everyone will be living pretending. You open up, you remove pretense. Pretense will go. I don't know whether I'm making sense.
Yeah, I'm following. I'm understanding. I'm following. Yeah.
So that's the thing. So in a relationship, you don't need to have a secret once you see that this should be your life partner. Understand? You remove those things. It will make you to live long. And when you begin to suspect your partner, that blood pressure will kill you. They tell you
It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. It's not healthy at all.
it's not. And one thing we forget not to understand, that person cannot be single before you know him or her. He has somebody else.
Yeah.
You coming into him or her, you will to find out. Anybody you see, ask that person, do you have friends before? That person say, no, I don't have. The person is
in most cases, in most cases they're lying. Okay, I understand. Yeah.
So anybody that you try to be transparent, tell him, see, I don't like lies. I'm trying to be you that have to be self-discipline, because you cannot tell me not to do this thing. You continue
doing it. Yeah.
It's not all well. So anything that you don't want another person to do to you, don't do it to another person.
Yes. Yeah. I got
you. Condition your mind in all those things. You see that you can let go in any trust issue. Then you have a relaxed mind. You understand?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether
Yeah, and yeah, you've talked. I think you even touch a lot of places, most of the things that we're talking about. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
you're
Appreciate.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The line is free. Call one on now on +44 744 982 3876. Call now. The line is free. Okay, so he he just vacated the line now, so you can call. The line is free now. If you want to call the line, the number is on the screen and all that. +44 744 982 3876. It's a WhatsApp number. You can just call. It's free now. You can call. You go through. Okay. He touched a lot of places. He touched a lot of places. He touched a lot of places, and one of the things that he highlighted is setting boundaries, because once you get into a new relationship, you you realize that you have that trust issue, maybe because of your past experiences, maybe because of what happened in your family. You have that child experience or child trauma. Maybe your parents divorced or separated because of trust issues. Maybe there's infidelity that occurred that one person find out, and because of that, the trust broke down. From there, everything messed up in that relationship, and because of that, you've been nursing these trust issues within you that made you not to trust whoever that you contact or whoever that you're in relationship with, or maybe your past relationship you cannot get over it because it end so bad. But the issue is that now that you noticed, you identified the root cause of the problem. You know that this is why this is happening. Okay, because once you know, identified, you know that I have issue when it comes to trust. Okay, based on maybe because of past experiences, personal insecurity, communication breakdown, all of those things, infidelity, something happened that but now you know that you have that. You work on yourself, you reflect on why. What happened? Was it because of the way you behave, or was it because of your insecurity? Was it because of your lack of? I mean, that you're not. You weren't paying attention in that relationship, or what is the problem? Because you need to reflect why what happened. Once you reflect and find out why this betrayal occurred, the anxiety, jealousy, and all that, understanding yourself better, then it can help you to address the issue more effectively. You can address the issue better because now you know where and what to handle, what to work on. Okay? Like what the gentleman, when he called, he said, you have that communication, open communication, talk to your partner and let them understand this is what happened in my past relationship. I would not relate it. I would not like it to happen. I know that I'm having issues, but I'm working on it. Okay, in most cases, you see that once you're open and you're honest and you let this person understand this is what happened in your past relationship, they will most times you see that they will give you assurances. They will tell you, "Don't worry, it will not happen. I'm not that kind of person." Even as they're giving you that assurances, now you set boundaries. You just let them understand this is what I will not relate. No matter I understand that you promised that it will not happen, but I will not relate this kind of behavior. This is not what I will not take it. Okay. Now you are setting boundaries. Them they will already know the boundaries. You respect each other's boundaries. Because once you start respecting each other's boundaries, you see that you're building that trust. There will be mutual trust. Also, what he pointed as well, what you put there is a consistency. It's not just about talking about it. You have to demonstrate that reliability and commitment to show that you are trustworthy. You yourself, you are trustworthy. That this person, your relationship with, you should trust you through your own behavior. How you show an example of your own behavior, how you behave. Those things that you don't want the person to do, he or she, you yourself, you're not going to do it to them. You respect yourself and respect that relationship. Okay. That is the way it is. So being consistent in their behavior and all that will give them the opportunity for them to trust you, to trust you. But you yourself now, how can you build that trust? That's what we talked about. How can you build trust? Because you need to, like, you need to know yourself. You need to work on your self development, work on yourself. Because there's something, let me tell you something. Okay. Most times you realize that most people, they get into a relationship, they all the work that they put in to get this person, to convince this person to come into a relationship with them. Once that person comes into that relationship, all those things that they normally do, they will stop doing them. They, you see that they let go of themselves. They will not work on their physical appearances. They will not work on how they behave, the way they will dress, everything about them. They just start living themselves, neglect themselves, forgetting that they're in a relationship with someone. And this person is they're looking at you on a daily basis. You used to dress in certain ways. You need to dress well and all those kind of things those days. Now you don't care. You don't even care about your dressing. You don't care about your hair. You don't care about not okay. Your personal growth. Talking about your personal growth. You don't care about your personal growth. You don't read. You don't things. You don't exercise. There are a lot of things that you neglect. You just forget about yourself just because you're in a relationship now. You guys maybe you're married or you just living together. Maybe you have children and all that. I understand there's a lot of things maybe that might happen. Maybe you have children and all that. You might not have chance. You might not have time for all those things. But you need to work on yourself. What I mean by work on yourself, work on developing self-awareness and self-confidence. Once you have that self-confidence on yourself, you work on that, build yourself. You find out that you'll not be worried about the other person because you believe in yourself. If they're going to mess about, if they want to leave or something, it's their own loss. It's their own loss because you know yourself, you work on yourself, and you see that when you even work yourself, they will notice. Yes, they will notice. You cannot even say they will notice you. They will get the message that you have nothing to lose. Do you understand what I mean? They will get the message direct straight away. That is what most times you see that people, because you don't believe in yourself, you don't have confidence in yourself, you're worried about the other person all the time because you're worried about them leaving you. You're worried about them, you see that's where trust issues start coming because now when they're out there, you're going through their phones or you're calling them, they're not picking all those kind of things. You start disturbing you. But once you work on yourself, once you start believing in yourself, once you realize that you have issues about that and you work on that problem, you know yourself now, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. You will not have time for all those things. You will not have time for, like checking where they are, all of kind of things. Yeah, does not mean that you will not be checking. Sometimes you need to where you're, how are you, how do what they are, what is happening to them. Maybe for example, if they're not coming, they normally know the time they normally come home and they're not home. That you need to call. What's going on? Are you okay? Just to make sure that they're okay. But it's not like in a situation where you monitoring every step, everything they're doing and all that. You understand? That is not the issue because you might not have that time. You have other things to do. You understand? We're talking about how can you overcome trust issues? Because there's something that you don't understand. You have to understand that you have that issue first. You have their trust issues. Once you notice that you have trust issues, that's when you will start finding ways to work on it. And two, you have to look at the kind of person you're in relationship with. Who are you in relationship with? That is another thing. Who are you in relationship with? This person, is it the kind of person that you know that yes, when you chat, have a conversation, have open communication, because we talked about having open communication, explaining to this person what happened in your past relationship or what happened when you were a child or the child trauma and all those kind of things. That is the reason why you're having all these issues. And once this person understand that this is what is happening, you understand, then are they the kind of person that they will understand, they will communicate, they will listen to, because that's their nothing. Communicating is nothing, but understanding and how you communicate is another different. Is another thing again that you have to let them understand. If they can understand where you're coming from, knows that yes, they can help. They have to help you to work on these trust issues. You understand? Because no matter what, if you have a past experience, something happened in your previous relationship, no matter what, there's no way it will not affect you in your new relationship. And it will take time to build that trust back. And how will you build the trust back? By the other person helping you out. Because there's a pattern of behavior where the same person will start behaving the same pattern, having that the same pattern. You see that it's going to, all the whole work, you work on yourself. Everything's going to be, it's upside down. It's going to go, it's just like it's still having worry. Thinking about the same thing. It's something maybe it's going to happen again. This the same pattern. This is what is happening. All those kind of things. You understand that that is the reason why it's good for you to work on yourself. Because when you're working on yourself, you're healing at the same time. You're healing at the same time. You understand? So we're talking about how can you overcome trust issues. This is a topic that let me tell you, you cannot there's no way you can say that you've overgrown it. It happens on a daily basis. New relationship, old relationship, it doesn't matter how it is. It happens because it's something that on a daily basis, you have to be consistent. On a daily basis, you have to be consistent. Because once you lose that trust, the foundation of that relationship is out of the door, it's just out of the window because trust, communication work hand in hand. You have to trust your partner, they have to trust you. But you have to make an avenue where both of you have to do what? Trust each other through consistency in your behavior, consistent behavior, communication. If this person is going to work and they know that they are not going to come back early, or maybe they have a overtime or something that they're going to do, they need to communicate. It's either through text or they call and say, "This is what is happening. I'm running late. I'm not going to be here so time because of this. There's traffic or not something like that." You are being consistent. You're letting this person know that I respect you, and that is the reason why I need to communicate. I need to let you know that I'm running late. You cannot just take it to yourself and just say to your man, you don't care. You have that I don't care attitude where you're looking at the other person, you don't have respect for that person, you don't care about the person you're in a relationship with. It does not work like that because gradually, what do? You are destroying the trust that the person has on you. The trust that you guys have built for a long time, you're destroying it because you are coming, you normally come back at 6 o'clock. This time, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., you're not home. 10 o'clock, you're not home. Then you come back without no excuse. And then you didn't call, you didn't let them that you're running late. Then you come in, you have that entitled attitude. Why you're supposed to trust me, blah, blah, blah. That is not how you work because it's a relationship. You have someone that is at home worried, sick about you. When you get back, let them understand. Reason why you're not coming back early, let them understand. You're going out with your friends, you let them understand. I'm going out to so place. I might not come back early. Or this is what is going to happen. This is what happened, and all those kind of things. And when you are there, you do what? You respect yourself. You respect yourself. They respect yourself. That is how you work. That thing that you know that the other person, if they behave that way or they do that to you, that you not be happy, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. That's what we call mutual respect. And that's what build trust relationship. Okay. Then you have some unfinished business that in your past relationship or whatever, someone that is always like, you know what I mean by unfinished business. I know that. Be open about it. Then discuss about it. If it's something that they can be tolerated, then tolerate it. If not, what happened? You know what to do about it. Okay. Also, when you do all of these things, you find out that all these things are happening, and then talk about trust issues and everything. And then there's something else as well I would like you to work on. Forgiveness. That is something that eh, is one of those behavior that is difficult to ignore sometimes. If you're working on yourself, personal growth, personal development, and everything, what about forgiveness? What about practicing forgiveness towards yourself? I mean, yourself. It's not even your partner, towards yourself. Because once you practice forgiveness, once you forgive yourself, your wrongdoings, maybe it was your fault in your last relationship, and because of that, when you came into this relationship now, it's still affecting relationship that your self-esteem is not there. You don't trust yourself again. You don't have confidence. Try to forgive yourself first. Forgive yourself. Know that you made a mistake. Then work on it. If it's your partner that made the mistake, forgive them. Forgive their past mistakes or their betrayers, all of that. If you can, forgive. Because once you start letting go of resentment, it can help you to rebuild trust. If you are ready to give each other a chance to work on rebuilding trust in your relationship, because that's the nothing. If you guys want to work on it, you want to work. I'm talking about when there is a betrayal, when there is a you have an issue that you say, okay, listen, I want to give us a trial. I want us to give us a chance. I want to give us another chance. Okay, let's work on this. First of all, you need to let go, forgive, forgive. But if you find out that you cannot forgive, you can't let go, there's no need sticking in there. It's going to affect because no matter what, you'll be when they're out, you're not going to be yourself. And according to the gentleman that called, he said it's not healthy, it's not good for you. You might have a stroke or hypertension or that, high BP and all those kind of things. You understand? And that's why you need to work on yourself to forgive yourself first and then forgive this person. But if you've done all of these things, you set boundaries, or everything that we talked about, nothing works, then you need to seek professional help. Because once you try all of everything that we talk, consider couples therapy if you guys can go, counseling to go, both of you, because so that you guys can work on your issues together with the guidance of a trained professional. They will know, they give you time to talk, they know how to handle all of these things. Everybody, they know where to work on all that. You see that you forgive and everything, all of those things is going to work on them. Seek professional help. Sometimes that little money is good for you to spend if you want to keep your relationship. If you don't want to lose this person, seek counseling, therapy. It can help so that you guys can continue enjoy a relationship. Okay. Thank you guys. If you are still with us to this time, I appreciate you. Please don't forget to share this program. And if it's the first time in coming across one, we are live on TikTok. We also Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And if you have not followed us on YouTube, on Facebook, please follow us. Okay. We have a lot of content that you can look into, where you can gain one or two things out of it. On Facebook, YouTube, please just subscribe to our YouTube and click on the notification so that You will know whenever we are going live or if there's any content that we push out there so that you can get it. Okay. That is why we're going to stop this evening. On everything that we said this evening, everything that we talked about, what we are talking about is for you to overcome trust issues in a relationship, it requires both parties. It requires both of you to have patience. You have to put in a lot of effort and commitment. So by addressing the root causes of the problem, you foster open communication, you set boundaries, okay? You set boundaries and all that. Hello?
Yeah, I was listening. I didn't start from the beginning, but I was just listening to hear you say about your birthday, but I didn't hear such. But you are not to end. So I want to give you a belated birthday.
All right.
Happy birthday, bros.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank
I
you.
wish you many, many, many more years with good health, more blessings in Jesus' name.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay, like I said, so concluding this evening, once you address all these problems, the root cause of and fostering open communication, you set boundaries and develop self-trust while you work on yourself. You can work towards building a stronger foundation of trust in your relationship. It's something that you have to work on a daily basis. That is something that you have to do. Okay, it takes a lot of time and commitment, and then it takes two people to do it. It takes two people to do it. You have a job. Relationship is not easy. It's very, very easy to destroy. It's very easy to mess up your relationship. But to build it, it takes time. It takes effort. On a daily basis, you need to be working on it, communicating to each other, consistency and everything. Also, you you pray towards your relationship as well. You pray. You pray about your partner. You pray if you have children, pray about them. Pray, just let them. I mean, seriously, it's not easy because especially in the black community, that is one of the major issues that we have in the black community. We're talking about family unity. Family unity is one of the, major issues, okay, that we're having. And that's why you can see there's a lot of separations, divorce, all of that, because it needs a lot of work. And many people don't want to work. They don't want to put in effort. And I know we family, one of family, we can't do that. We're working here. We need to work, and we need to work on our relationships and all that. Okay. Like I said, thank you guys for staying with us to this time. And if you didn't join us early, you can go back and watch this and start from the beginning. There's a lot of things that we talked about, which you can benefit you and your relationship. On that note, I will see you guys next week, Friday. If you're on TikTok, you can also join us on TikTok live. I think we'll be going TikTok live very soon in let's call it in 40 minutes from now. We go in TikTok live. So you can join us TikTok live. We're talking about just one on TikTok. Just type in one on TikTok. You join us. You can follow us also on TikTok so that anytime we go live there, you can join us. It's a different kind of segment on TikTok. You understand? So on that one, you can join just live and just communicate with us directly. Okay, see you guys next week Friday. Have a lovely weekend and God bless.